Hello, and for those who don't know me, my name's Robert. I like to go walking on Monday mornings. I go along to Sutton Park, to the Black Route car park, where I meet up with a number of other like-minded people who gather for a couple of hours, pleasant walking and chatting in the park. You're very welcome to come and join us sometime if you feel that you want to. I should add that the people who go, some of them are from the church, others have no church background at all. Well, back in the autumn, you may recall, that's last autumn, you may recall that we were prohibited from walking other than with one person maximum. And so on the first Monday after that prohibition came in, turned up at the park just in case there was somebody else who'd got a similar idea and saying, I'd still like to go for a walk. Anyway, there wasn't anybody else, so I thought I'd set off on my own. And I started off along well-trodden paths, and I headed north towards Streetley Lane and skirting, or giving Bracebridge Pool quite a wide berth. And then I decided I would like to go off on if you like, a path I'd never been on before. Well, I think you can guess what's coming next, or some of it anyway. I went along this path. I gathered after a while where I think it was going, and I didn't actually want to go there, so I turned off on another path. It was a smaller one, and off I went, and then suddenly the path sort of petered out, and there I was with a decision to make. Should I carry on or should I go back, retrace my steps? Well, being the stubborn person I am, I carried on, of course. And as I walked along where there was no path, the ground got suddenly a little bit more sodden and a little bit more squelchy. And before I knew it, I was in quite a marshy area of the park, somewhere between Bracebridge Pool and Thornhill Road, if you know that area. It was unfamiliar to me. Anyway, I still soldiered on, walking on the tufts of grass that there are there. And eventually I found myself sort of cornered between two small streams. But that wasn't a challenge in the end, because I found that at a certain point there was a branch that had fallen into the river, or one of the streams, and I was able to get across to the other side. But then I thought, well, where do I go from here? Should I go back? And I'm thinking to myself, well, actually, I'm not sure I know the way back anymore. Then I suddenly remembered that I had a compass in my man bag. So out comes my little compass. It had come, I got it when I got the boots. They sort of came as a sort of freebie. And at least I found out what direction I needed to go in. The problem is, when I looked in that direction, that was where the worst of the marsh was. So I really had to go round it. And then I'm thinking, so how do I go from here? Where do I go? And then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll pray. So I did. I prayed. And would you believe, within a few seconds, I hear the whistle of a train. And then I hear the train coming along. And I follow where the sound is. And I think, that's where I've got to head for, because I know there's an embankment there. And if I get up onto that, I can follow it along and find my way over to Little Bracebridge. So I duly set off, and trying to tread, from tuft of grass, if you like, to tuft of grass without, sort of sinking in to, the ground. Otherwise, I eventually got there, albeit with somewhat sodden feet. I managed to climb the bank rather gingerly, because it was rather slippy and muddy, found my way along the track to Little Bracebridge, and then this 1 hour walk that I was going to take suddenly became 2 hours, or virtually 2 hours. And as I was making my, sorry way back to the car park, I started thinking about what spiritual lesson can I learn from this experience? And then I thought about, wandering off from the right way. I imagine we've all done it at some times. I certainly have in the past and gone astray. And the thing is that when you go off the wrong way, you do find it increasingly difficult to go back. Because what you want to do is find a shortcut. Once you reach a point where you say, I actually need to find my way back to God properly, then you tend to want to find a shortcut back. But it's not quite like that. What we do find, though, of course, is that rather like the compass that can point you in the right direction, so the Bible as God's word can guide us and help us when we want to make that choice to go back. And then there's an even better thing, and that, of course, is prayer, because prayer is actually our direct contact, our direct access to God through Jesus. And when we come to him in prayer, with our situation, he does hear and he does respond. And as the Bible itself tells us, the Lord makes firm the steps of those who delight in him. But also, in order to be those people, we obviously need to be on that, if you like, that proper track to begin with. Or at least we need to find our way back there. So if we go astray, remember that God is always there waiting to hear from us when we get round to remembering to contact him.